June 3, 2021. The police in Chongming District, Shanghai received a report. The reporter was a woman. She said that her mother, Wang Meizhen, did not come home all night. They searched all the places where their mother might have gone, but they never found her, and her mobile phone was turned off. What's the status now? No one can be seen alive, and no body can be seen dead. I feel like something is not right. Is something going to happen? I can only ask for help. After the police received the call, the police first checked the surveillance. Because they live in a small village, the village is not big. As long as Wang Meizhen goes out, image data will definitely be left at the entrance of the village. However, after investigating the videos at various intersections in the village, it was found that Wang Meizhen did not leave the village, and the surveillance cameras did not capture Wang Meizhen at all. This means that she didn't go out or go anywhere else, she was still in this village. Why can't I be contacted in this village? Why can't I find him even though I'm looking everywhere? At this time, the police officers who were experienced in handling cases began to wonder whether something serious had happened and whether he might have been killed. But the next step is to conduct interviews and investigations. Just guessing is not enough. You have to understand how Wang Meizhen disappeared. The first person to discover that Wang Meizhen was missing was Wang Meizhen's husband. After her husband got up in the morning, why wasn't he at home? So he called his daughter. What did your mother do? She didn't go home to sleep at night. Her phone was turned off when she called him. She didn't come back all night last night. When the daughter heard that her mother hadn't come back all night, she became anxious and quickly called her mother's phone, but the phone was still turned off. Oops, something is wrong. I ran home and looked at all my mother's things, so I asked my father, did you two quarrel again? No, he hasn't come back yet. Who am I arguing with? Indeed, from the looks of it, it doesn't look like he went out because he was angry because of a quarrel. As for the specific situation, he wasn't sure, since his mother couldn't be contacted anyway. The police came to Wang Meizhen's home and asked Wang Meizhen's husband when Wang Meizhen went out last night. I don't know this either. I took a rest after dinner yesterday. I have a regular schedule. I went to bed at 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening. If I didn't wake up early in the morning, I would see that Meizhen was not there. Speaking of which, hey, I'm not afraid of your jokes. Meizhen is different from me. She has a rich nightlife. I went to bed after dinner. He should have gone out to square dance. He usually dances until 10 o'clock in the evening. I didn't come back until 1 or 2 o'clock, and I had already fallen asleep by that time. Later, I would leave the door open for my wife every day, and I wouldn't close the door of the house. The neighbors all knew this habit. But no, when I came this morning, Meizhen didn't come back at all, and no one answered the phone. I felt something was wrong, so I complained about my daughter's phone call. Didn't he call the police? I don't know about it either. This means that Wang Meizhen went out at around 6 o'clock the night before, and she never came back after going out. So since it is square dancing, the people who dance square dancing in the village are all villagers from the same village. The police asked the aunts in the village to understand the situation. Some aunts said that last night, Meizhen came to dance and met Meizhen, but it was only around 7 o'clock, and she followed Lu Shan. So who is this Lu Shan? After inquiring, the police found out that Lu Shan was also from their village. From the name, you should also know that she is a man. What is the relationship between Lu Shan and Wang Meizhen? It was an extramarital affair. Everyone in the village knew about the relationship between the lover and his lover. It could be said that they were engaging in extramarital affairs openly. When it comes to extramarital affairs, the police feel even more uneasy, and it is very likely that there is a greater chance of disaster. There is often a saying on the internet that 9 out of 10 murder cases are caused by the relationship between a man and a woman. Of course, this number is not accurate, but it is enough to show that many murder cases are caused by the relationship between a man and a woman. In this way, Lu Shan would be suspected. The police found Lu Shan again, and Lu Shan told the police that I was indeed with Meizhen last night, but we separated after chatting for a few words. By the way, when we met, we chatted with a few other old men, and then I went home. My wife was at home. He was sick and had to take insulin shots every night. I would go back at 10 o'clock in the evening. I gave him insulin at home, so according to what Lu Shan said, he didn't know why Wang Meizhen disappeared. The police learned about these situations from Lu Shan. Lu Shan did admit that he met Wang Meizhen, but she said she would go home at 10 o'clock. So, does Wang Meizhen's husband know that his wife is having an affair? If he knew that his wife was having an extramarital affair, would he tolerate her, or would he kill her because of this? The police visited Wang Meijian's husband again. When the extramarital affair was mentioned, Wang Meijian's husband was very calm and had no emotional disturbance at all. What did the police feel? Wang Meijian was having an extramarital affair. Her husband knew about it, but he was also helpless. During the entire conversation, whether it was behavior, movements, or tone of voice, everything was very natural. Wang Meijian's husband gives the impression that he is a very honest old man. The police even believed that Fang Jian was guilty of murder, and the old man couldn't do it. Later, the police learned about another situation, which completely ruled out Wang Meijian's husband as a suspect. What's the matter? Wang Meijian has a best friend. This best friend said that Wang Meijian and Lu Shan had been having an extramarital affair for 20 years. They had already hooked up when they were in their 20s. Wang Meijian will tell her best friend no matter what happens. Now that Lu Shan has a conflict, she will ask her best friend to mediate. Now something happened to Wang Meijian. My best friend, she told the police everything she knew, hoping to quickly solve the case and find Wang Meijian. My best friend is very suspicious of Lu Shan. Wang Meijian's best friend said that Lu Shan called Meijian last night, and Meijian left the square after receiving the call to find Lu Shan. The police investigated Wang Meijian's call records and found that the last call was indeed made to Lu Shan. The call between the two of them was at 7:15 in the evening, and the duration was only a few seconds. Lu Shan's suspicion is even greater. The police decided to conduct an in-depth investigation into Lu Shan. Since the relevant video of Wang Meijian has not been found, will Lu Shan be found in the surveillance video? After checking the monitoring, it turned out that there was indeed a problem with Lu Shan, and the problem was serious. Early in the morning the next day after Wang Meijian disappeared, Lu Shan rode an electric bicycle to a small bridge at the entrance of the village. She parked the electric bicycle on the bridge and looked around on the bridge, as if she were a thief. There was no one on the road. Threw something into the river. So what was thrown into the river? The police quickly organized people to salvage from the river and salvaged two things. One was Wang Meijian's belt and the other was Wang Meijian's mobile phone. How come Wang Meijian's belt and mobile phone are in his hands? Why throw this belt and mobile phone into the river? Is this to destroy the corpse and eliminate traces? When I investigated him before, he said he didn't know where Wang Meijian had gone. Now that the surveillance video has been captured and the items have been found, it is obvious that Lu Shan is the biggest suspect. The police rushed to Lu Shan's home immediately and took him under control. Lu Shan saw that the police put handcuffs on him directly. He understood that the matter had been exposed and could not hide it. He did not resist, so he admitted the fact of killing Wang Meijian. So Wang Meijian is dead, where is her body? He led the police to a remote place in the village and said that Wang Meijian was buried there. Based on his story, the police went to the burial site and dug out Wang Meijian's body. This also proved that he had killed Wang Meijian. At this point, the chain of evidence is fully complete. So how did you kill him? The forensic doctor conducted an autopsy on Wang Meijian and found that Wang Meijian died of suffocation and was strangled to death by Lu Shan. Then why did he strangle Wang Meijian to death? The two have been having an extramarital affair for 20 years. What happened between the two of them who have been lovers for such a long time? Although such a long relationship is not a legal couple, it is not much different from the relationship between husband and wife. Lu Shan said that Wang Meijian's best friend also knew the real reason why he killed Wang Meijian. So what does it have to do with my bestie? Lu Shan said that he and Wang Meijian had indeed had an extramarital affair for more than 20 years, because his wife had been sick all year round and was in poor health, so she couldn't control him even if she wanted to. As for him, he had an extramarital affair with Wang Meijian. He really liked Wang Meijian at first. They both had families, so they made a three-part agreement that the other half of our family couldn't know about this matter, and we didn't know each other. Interference, we only talk about love when we are together, nothing else, we don't talk about getting married, we don't even mention things like divorce. Lu Shan also said that in his eyes, Wang Meijian is the same as his wife after so many years. In this way, the two people maintained an extramarital affair for more than 20 years through ups and downs. But what he didn't expect was that Wang Meijian became more and more dependent on him, whether emotionally or physically, she was overly dependent on Lu Shan. Wang Meijian also often took care of Lu Shan, not letting Lu Shan talk to other women, and also asked him to write a guarantee letter, promising that he only loved Wang Meijian and was not allowed to have relationships with other women. When he was young, Wang Meijian asked him to write it. He also liked Wang Meijian at that time, so let him write it. As for this, Wang Meijian's best friends are all aware of this situation. But the two of them had been together for more than 20 years, and the freshness had long since passed. They were both in their 50s. Lu Shan didn't love Wang Meizhen that much. He preferred a young and beautiful one, so he fell in love with a 4-year-old girl. She is a woman of about 10 years old, and despite the fact that 2021 is the year of the epidemic, the two of them see each other whenever they can, and they interact very frequently. After Wang Meizhen found out, she couldn't bear it anymore. She went to Lu Shan many times and told him that you must sever ties with him. Especially Wang Meizhen, she later heard about something. Lu Shan gave the woman tens of thousands of dollars and bought her gold and silver jewelry. Now Wang Meizhen was even more unhappy. You gave her. I have never spent so much money, why should I spend it on her? He found Lu Shan. We have to settle the score. Didn't you give him money? Didn't you buy things for her? You have to buy them for me too. It was originally said that the two of us would not cheat on each other and have extramarital affairs until we grow old. We can be considered old together. But now that we are not old, you don't want me anymore. It doesn't matter what you say. I can't bear it. I am not loyal to Lu Shan. No mercy. But ever since Lu Shan fell in love with that woman in her 40s, she had no interest in Wang Meizhen at all. Wang Meizhen also went to see that woman and scolded her, saying, "You are shameless, you are a mistress, you you're shameless, you particularly embarrassing." This woman was under great pressure, so she stopped seeing Lu Shan. Lu Shan felt uncomfortable and sad that she could no longer see the woman she loved. She felt that this was all Wang Meizhen's fault. I had to kill her. Only by killing her could I live with the person I love most. So on the night of June 2nd, 2021, she lied on the phone, saying that she wanted to reconcile with Wang Meizhen and sever ties with this woman. Wang Meizhen was so happy when she heard this phone call. This guy, my dream has finally come true. All my wishes have come true. That's okay, let's meet. In fact, he invited Wang Meizhen out just to kill Wang Meizhen. Wang Meizhen dressed up well and went to find Lu Shan happily. Lu Shan deceived Wang Meizhen into a deserted place. The throne guy brutally strangled Wang Meizhen to death. Lu Shan thought that killing people would not be seen. No one will know. After he was caught, he also told the police, "I never thought I'd kill someone. You guys solved the case the next day. Just caught me." When I was caught, Lu Shan was extremely remorseful. But what's the use of regretting anymore? What awaits him is legal punishment.